Alright guys, today I have a kind of different type of video. It's not a tutorial, it's not a fun jailbreak downgrade video. It's kind of, I guess it's not a tutorial in a little way, but like, yeah, it's more like a commentary video because there is a massive problem right now involving A5 and A6 legacy iOS devices, which ranges from like the iPad 2, the iPad 3, the iPad 4, the iPad mini 1, the 4S, the 5, the 5C, the Touch 5. And all of those right now are not activating at all. So that means if you just recently downgraded and you did not have tickets, activation tickets, which we'll get into later, and what you can do to even like deal with this. And yeah, so anyway, what happened? Well, the activation servers on Apple's side appeared to be messed up very badly, where you cannot activate at all. And what happens exactly is you get a setup loop when you try to activate the phone. So at first it does activate, but it just like reboots itself back into a setup like area, but where it doesn't actually activate anymore, and you're kind of just screwed. And what can you do exactly? Well, if you just downgraded this recently and you're getting this problem, well, there is a couple things that you can do, like deleting setup.app, which you can do in like the iPhone box SSH terminal, and like and if you know how to use SSH RAM disk, you can do that as well and delete setup.app. And what even is setup.app anyway? Setup.app is just like the actual setup for your phone or your iPod or your iPad, and deleting that completely bypasses that. And there's many ways you can do it, but there's a catch. On iOS, it only works for like 7 and 9, and all the other versions are like do not work, or like at all, or just semi work and are very buggy. And that goes for like iOS 5, 6, and 8, which do not work very well. And I do not recommend this. So if you're in this situation, you're kind of just screwed until someone comes up with a crazy hacktivation tool that is super simple to use and is like built into like all these crazy normal legacy iOS tools like Legacy iOS Kit and other ones, where you can just easily hacktivate and you don't have to deal with any of this garbage. Because there is some tools, like I know for the 4S, which I've tried and they don't really work because I can't SSH into it for some reason. And I'm having problems doing that. So yeah, there probably is a way to do it. It's just I don't have the right SSH terminal. I'm not even really sure what the right SSH terminal is to use, to be completely honest. So yeah, because if you want to, yeah, it's like the one in like a Legacy iOS Kit only supports like iOS 8 and up, and yeah. But there is a way, if you plan on downgrading or restoring, there is a way that you can bypass the whole entire activation sequence, and you will not have to deal with a loop or anything like that. And I need to tell you about a little thing called activation tickets. What are activation tickets exactly? Activation tickets are the thing that communicates to the phone that your phone has been activated before and that there's no need to activate in the future. So you can save these tickets and on like certain iOS versions, and like if you're downgrading, say like you have like a 4S and you're downgrading from like 9 to 6.1.3, we're just talking about like the A5 devices right here. I am not completely sure about A6 devices, so do not quote me if I am not true. And I'm not even sure if this works on iOS 10 and 6, from like 10 going to 6, to be completely honest. I only know of like A5 devices from like iOS 9 to like 6.1.3, and excluding the iPad 3, because you can't do crap with the iPad 3. You can't even downgrade it at all, because that's a different rant for a different video, because you can't do, I'm trying not to swear, you can't do shit with the iPad 3. You can't even downgrade it, like genuinely, and it sucks. And it's not even a good iPad. It's like one of the thicker iPads, and it overheats and like okay. I gotta stop myself. I'm going off a different rant, even though I really want one, because it's fun to jailbreak them, because that's about all you can do. So anyway, so how do you even save tickets exactly? Well, by the way, this only works for 9.6.1.3. I already said that already, but just to say that again, you can do this at a SSH terminal. All you need is a Mac and Legacy iOS kit, and maybe you don't even need an Arduino. So how do you even do this? Well, you just go to the SSH menu in Legacy iOS kit and just dump the activation record, then stitch it, and then you can downgrade it, and then you're fine. So it just stitches it to the device, and then you're perfectly good and good to go. Also, a little note that I'm adding post edit. I don't know what I'm saying. You can't be hacktivated beforehand. So if you've ever tried a hacktivation or you've successfully hacktivated, you cannot save activation tickets. So yeah, that's pretty much all you can do at this moment. A lot of people, I don't see a lot of people talking about this outside of like some of these legacy jailbreak communities like the Discord and the Reddit and stuff like that. I don't see many people talking about this, and I feel like more people gotta know about this, because it is a massive problem if you just want to buy like one of these devices. So at this moment, I would still say, unless you found something severely rare, do not buy an A5 or A6 device at this moment. And anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, share. This has been Derek from Certified Legacy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.